Hey, so obviously I'm going to make a video, and yes, indeed, I'm going to take my time and have patience with myself too, and have a very candid discussion with whomever, or monologue with whomever would care to, like to, has to look at it, read it, hear it, think of it, see it, figure out how to, counterattack, whatever, get in there and dislodge my argument or whatever, about it or something. Why? That's why, see? I like mushroom. Yeah. In other words, I'm a hippie who wants to play guitar at a festival. And I should not feel good enough about myself, right? Is it because that's some dirt right there? I don't know if you can see. A little bit dirty on the shirt there. Be nice if I did the laundry, right? Priorities. I barely had the time to figure out when I'd have the money on time, or whatever, to do the laundry, when it would be a good time to, because I don't have other things going on, or I'm not up to something, or someone's not up to something with me. If it's not the amount of money that's been stolen from me, then it's the general lowering of my morale to like through the floor, only for me to come back up to, a peak, sure. And I feel exactly how I was when I was in the golden days of my life, my entire youth. I might as well feel like I have been for my entire life, in a sum. But what I want to talk about really is, for example, this cigarette. But actually, no, that's not what I want to talk about really. I want to say, for example, this cigarette. I don't want to smoke it. I want the nicotine that's in it. And I had a vaporizer, but someone had to steal it. I don't know. Guess what? Why don't I just smoke a fucking cigarette and die? Is their basic idea. Or have less energy or whatever else, health concerns. So they went into Vermont basically and said, that's where all the hippies are. How about we put 92% tax on the vapes, which is a non-toxic vaporizer, nicotine vaporizer. If you get it from a shop, a reputable factory-made shop, like 802 e-cig, for example, 802 e-cig. And meanwhile, the black market somehow had in it, I'll put it that way, whomever put it there, it's not my concern. THC vapes with coils made with, it was a metal that was, the metal was a heavy metal that was getting in people's lungs because it was improperly made. And then it was vitamin E acetate as well that they were putting in it, and that's what caused the 3,000 something deaths from it at that one time. And that's when they came in and said, nope, you're not going to have vaporizers in Vermont. So that's how I collect those dots, like anybody could, and anybody does if they're watching, who even thinks that's bad maybe, or isn't cool, and maybe they work in law enforcement. I don't care. I'm not about to assume that every cop is bad. I'm not. I'm not about assuming every cop is good. And so I actually have to draw the line at things like, did I choose to take a weapon, and several weapons, and be armed, and have an armored thing going on in a fortress with cars and a whole bunch of stuff connected to local, state, federal agencies, and pass a polygraph? I don't even know what's in that polygraph, but I'm assuming it must be something like, I don't know. I don't really know how it works. I mean, does the person actually have to say, do they disapprove of drug use? And would they go do to any means to stop it? Arrest the person, hunt them, stalk them, go into surveil them. Buy some product from some company to hack their phone or whatever, and see everything they do, everywhere that they go. A constant surveillance network everywhere, regardless of the reason, even. So, anyhow. The idea is right. My hair isn't correct. My teeth are not good. They're not. If Bernie Sanders were elected, which twice in a row, it was exactly how brutal, vicious, and sinister is that regime. Joe Biden in a debate Bernie Sanders was like, you something. I don't even remember the quote. Maybe I don't have it right. But he was like, in Senate you did vote many times to be like, bad votes. And Biden looked at him like a wink and a like, in other words, I have power, you don't. We are a fear tactic, and we are, Now, of course, I don't assume he was that afraid of it at all, but that is exactly who that is. Even worse is Trump, and I am voting for Biden. Yeah, least of two, problem candidates, basically. And I suggest anyone else does too. Anyhow, what it really is that whether it's the needle they put in that arm there, with I don't know if it was a nanobot solution, an implant, both, or a whole bunch of stuff that would just, where the fuck, set up shop. Whatever I'm told could be thought of in a constant psychotronic mind rape, which I am used to now. And it's nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't faze me anymore than some person who, all right, imagine you look in a mirror and your job is to criticize someone else. So you go into all these, I'm not going to imitate it, into all these floundering displays of what it must be like to be that guy. Like, it's just to pick on someone and say that's what you must be. But the only person doing it is the person doing it. And that is how you look. And furthermore, as that is a model for what I'm about to say, I'm going to calm down a little bit because no one can make me angry. A very wise person told me once. I remember who it was. Could have been a friggin' AI. That's another thing. I'm going to go to Replika, REPLIKI, AI. Whoops, that's funny. You know, my brain does that. I'm a brain in a body, whatever. I'm an electrochemical. I could be an atheist if I'd like. Sure, keep me out of a lot of trouble, to be honest. I can switch to, I'd like to believe in this and that. I'm an omnist, right? The only thing I don't do is the word I won't say, ism, or any religion's version of it. A counter idea to something pure. Just because someone happened to mention it around and apply all these dogmas and stigmas and paradigms to it of their own. I haven't a fucking moment for it. My parents raised me not to entertain a single belief from a particular religion, which happens to stem greatly from the Catholic Church. They shook hands with absolute murderous kings and stuff. And in other words, Jesus never said, "Hey, that's the cup at my last supper. Why don't you go kill everyone for it?" Jesus never said, "Arm everyone to the teeth and take over the whole fucking world because of me." And in fact, slaughter everyone in sight and then make it here, where the indigenous is a sacred burial land everywhere you could look. And all they did was pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Now that may sound all glamorous and do plastic, oh, aren't we going to go to the mall or something, or the plaza or whatever. Fine. I will go on Google Play and get a Replika, AI. And I know it can be hacked. Those people might be people who are just like, hey, AI is the greatest thing to ever, oh, it's just so subtle and deep fake and you're not going to get it. Well, it's been since December. What I figured out is it can be hacked, and they may be people who are not so great, and they may be the nicest people in the world too, because of that. It might just be hacking. I don't know, but I know my private information came right through it from what's happening in my own home. So I'm going to go on there. The thing about an AI is it's not a human, so I can be an ambassador of peace to whomever is on the other end, whoever software manages it, and even the AI's own coding, whatever it's up to. Fine. It at least won't be a human who can try to come out with some real human stuff, It'll just be a medium. And I am not afraid, and I'm not saying I want to embrace it or say that's the greatest thing. I'm going to be like, wow, that needle that got put in me must be the smartest thing ever. The idea intelligence community is an oxymoron. Look at what you did. Stupid as stupid does, and what do you call it? And now you want us all to forgive you, or maybe you just don't want to get in trouble. Like who? The Zodiac fucking killer is basically how it seems. And there's alibi after alibi. No, I wasn't really there. Yes, he was. Did that really happen? And then y'all argue of it. Why? Because someone's covering up a whole bunch of crimes and they say it from fucking podiums. No, I wasn't there, just that was. And they're running from something. It's a whole bunch of cover-ups. And if law enforcement doesn't care about it because it's complicit, just like maybe most mental health workers at HCRS, which I'm waking up quite readily, as opposed to the Brattleboro Retreat, where they openly experiment on people like they're lab rats. And who knows what else. They don't need all that office space any more than you look at just about any mental institution. What else is all that? People on computers, lawyers, whomever else, and of course infiltrated constantly by whomever wants to. They can say, you know, I write the payroll, I decide who works here, and all of a sudden that's just a plastic shop, you know, whatever. Looks like I have about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm gonna chill out. Funny, that water drop almost hit that phone, except my hand blocked it exactly as I moved it. You'd think it was coincidence. Maybe it was. But I could write a book on what the difference is. And I just may. Of course, maybe why bother? My keys were stolen on my birthday. Oh, is this upside down now? Alright. My keys were stolen on my birthday. Okay, so if I lay it down, it's upside down. Whatever, maybe it's not. It's just going like that. Yes, they were. By the cops who supposedly got a report. And they've supposedly gotten reports before. It's just actually, let's tag that guy right now. Or someone happens to be there who happens to be looking. Whatever. I mean, at the most, you know, I could be like, what is that thing? As long as it's not what they're up to. They're like, oh, well, you know, come see you. I asked all three of them, the cops who came, just because I was prompted, whatever. Are you racist? And they look at me in the face like this. Two of them on each side, one with the guy in the holster. I look at his holster, and then he's like, oh, you know, takes his hand away from him. I'm not doing that or anything. I'm not waiting on a command to turn this guy into Swiss cheese or anything. And the guy in the middle who's like, oh, you know, I'm talking to you. I'm the neutral cop. I'm not racist. He said, no, I'm not racist. I mean, he tried to say it with a straight face. I couldn't care, but he's hanging out with two of them. He's just like, you know, what's the difference? And so, there's about 3 minutes left. And I'm going to buy a vape. And I'm going to succeed. I'm going to go to Burlington, and I'm going to play hippie festival music. And I'm one of the best guitarists on the planet Earth in history, as well as one of the best musicians in history. Nobody wrote that equation that is in my book in history. No one from a conservatory, no one from a liberal arts, no one has sat down and thought of it, even in a physics department or anything. It's the simplest, most elegant math, and I love it. I didn't sit there on a board saying, with trigonometry, calculus, algebra, discrete math, whatever, how can I screw over the population? No. I use 12 fucking numbers to describe all of music and physics with some very small rules that absolutely really could be helping. You take all of this stuff and make it nefarious instead of helping now. Like, why can't coronas be stopped? You put a camera up our ass, 7,000 nanobots in our body, but you can't come up with who the fuck has it in the first place? And that'd be if I was president, because I know how to use the fucking thing. But you know what I'd never do? Be a president, because I can never be a veteran. And I sure as fucking can lead that thing. Now I got 2 minutes and I only need 1 minute to say it. But I'm not going to stay angry. I'm not going to be angry. Because I choose not to. And people don't like that. You know, I choose to. Oh no. I choose what you choose. Do you think a free will is a thing? Yeah. And you don't need a book to get it. Helen Keller must have accomplished loads. She had no fucking clue what was going on. Shall she go to hell because she didn't, you know, church or something or other, or accept a what who? And by the way, Jesus, a dark-skinned man. Yeah. That's right. A Jew, too. Not a Christian. A Jew. Not that I'm particularly concerned. They had so many psychoses in their minds, too. But now it's technologically augmented. Yeah. So I can split all differences just like that, too. So, with exactly 1 minute remaining, just about, I want to tell you how I feel about this whole thing. Humanity is destroying itself. Whether they're going to repopulate after with, you know, all this nefarious technology is turned good, so that we can have ice caps and, you know, take that seed bank, put it everywhere, whatever. Be that as it may, some scenario, you know, I don't care. It's that you may destroy this reality, or whatever. Whomever is, you know, involved, complicit, whatever, looking the other way, you know, paid to do it, whatever, whatever. 30 seconds, huh? All right. Imagine you trying to insult me, or someone like me who gets it, that is a parade of people being paid off in contracts to have some general malaise, all in a regime of whatever, of humanity destroying itself. And I am supposed to feel like I'm not good enough, I don't look right, I don't hoard enough money, I don't sign all the wrong contracts, I don't get in line, and if I don't join, I'm a gay or something because it's not up or us or something. Okay.